she is. There's what the back of that engine looks like. Got the transmission apart last night and pulled that plug out of there, that soft plug, freeze plug. It was pretty rotten. And I got a couple here I'm going to stick in it. And there's what's left of the plug that was in it. This is the source of my leak between the transmission and the engine on this 3.0. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit. We're going to clean the back of this block up. And I got two soft plugs, new ones I'm going to put in. I'm not going to bore you with both of them, but I'm going to clean it up, stick one in, and I'll come back and record and put the final one in and give you a look here what it looks like in the back. So it should be a pretty easy job. So other than that, not much more to say, so let's get to it. Alright folks, there's a nice look at it. I got it all cleaned up. I had some high temperature engine enamel. Thought I'd just kind of spray it and clean it up, make it look a lot better. I know, I won't be able to see it when I put the transmission back on the engine, but hey, at least I know it's clean. So I knocked this freeze plug out. I usually just take a hammer or a chisel and kind of knock it out and get a pair of needle nose pliers and just kind of pull it through. And it works pretty good. And before you put your freeze plugs in, make sure on the outside of that bore there, that's nice and clean. Take a little sandpaper and lightly kind of go around and make sure it's nice and smooth, because when you put these freeze plugs in, you got to make sure they're nice and clean, especially on the edges there, so they'll get a nice seat. That way it'll guarantee, hopefully, you won't have any leaks. And other than that, everything looks pretty good here. It's nice and clean. And I even took a little sandpaper and cleaned out that tube there, because when I slide the other tube inside of that with that seal, I know it'll get a nice seal, and it won't have any leaks. Now, this rear main seal, I think I'm going to go ahead and replace it. It's not that old, but since I got the transmission out, you know, it's better to replace it with another one for about $12 to $18. That way I know I won't have to worry about that, and I shouldn't have to take this transmission out again. So it looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and set the camera up on the tripod, and I'll show you how to pop that in there. Or you can just kind of watch me. It's pretty simple. We'll put that freeze plug in, and we'll pretty much wrap this up. Then I'll start putting this transmission back together and sticking it in, and hopefully getting it running soon. And this job will be pretty much done, looks like, soon. So there's one more nice look at it. So let's go ahead and set the camera up on the tripod and put the last freeze plug in. By the way, these were only $1 each, so they're pretty inexpensive. But like I said, the hard job is dropping the transmission and replacing $1 part. Yeah, go figure. All right, let's finish up here. New versus old, and you can see where the old one was rusty. It rusted from the outside inward, I do believe, and if it had some paint or protective coating on it, it probably would not have rusted. So the next step you need to do is get you a socket, find something that'll fit on the inside of that soft plug. For me, this particular soft plug will be a 15/16 socket. That will be helping me out here. And when you get your soft plug, just get the appropriate socket so the soft plug doesn't move left or right. And that fits in there pretty snug, and that should help us out quite a bit. And by the way, this soft plug was only, I believe, I don't know, 99 cents. Pretty cheap. And a lot of guys will go ahead and put some silicone on here. I don't do it that way. I'll take the silicone and go ahead and put some up here on the inside of that bore. That way you don't have to worry about getting it all over your fingers and stuff. And all you have to do is tap the soft plug in. So let's go ahead and do this. And now I think you can see I got the silicone on. And now we're ready to slide that old freeze plug or soft plug in, whatever you want to call it. But in my case, this is a freeze plug. And the whole idea of a freeze plug is if you get water in your engine block and it gets cold, it pushes that freeze plug out and lets some of the water drain out so it doesn't freeze and bust your block. Because we all know when water freezes, it expands. And that's how your block would end up getting ruined. Alright, so let's go ahead and stick this in. Alright, I got the camera set up the best way I can, and I don't have a lot of room under here, so I have to kind of lay on my side and do this. And I'm doing this tonight because tomorrow night it's probably going to get down to close to 5 to 10 below zero. So this would be a good night to come in the garage and kind of tinker around. So I'm going to push on that, and sometimes it'll just kind of start, okay. Now I'll lay down, take my hammer here. Like I said, I have to get on my side. Don't have a lot of room down here, and we'll just kind of gently knock it in. Slowly. And I think we're just about in. And I think that's where we want it, because we don't want it in too far. We want it in just about where the bevel ends on the side. Let's see what we got. And it's perfect. Exactly where I want it. And that, my friend, is how you install a freeze plug or soft plug. But in my case, it is a freeze plug. Alright, there's a good close-up look at it. I'll go ahead and grab my paint there, and I'll go ahead and paint this up so the way they're both protected. I don't have to worry about it rusted out. But this is, like I said, a high mileage car. The car's not going to last forever, but this certainly this soft plug will last, probably outlast the engine. So let me go ahead and grab some paint. We'll paint it and finish up here. Okay, there it is. The final product. New soft plugs / freeze plugs. Whatever your preferences are. And I got a little paint on there. It's drying. Looks pretty good. And I put my rear main seal in last night. They give you one of these rings to kind of set up here like this to help guide that seal on there so you don't tear it or anything. Pretty simple to do. Just take a screwdriver and pop the old one out and slowly tap the other one in. And that's it. And now all I have to do is tomorrow or probably Friday come out and go ahead and put the transmission back in. Like I said, tomorrow night's going to be really cold. It's going to be down near 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold for our area. So, but then that's how you install a freeze plug or soft plug. So hopefully this will help you out a little bit. Remember, just don't go too far in. Don't lock them in too far. If you do, you have to fish them back out and go get another one, stick it in. But if you have a leak between your engine and transmission, more than likely it's going to be one of those guys right there that's rusted out and causing you those issues. So there you go. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, later.